a lot of speed.
He warming up
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up, warm up.
Some
I know one thing.
8-year-olds. I got
If I
the
find
8-year-olds
out
in there.
anything, if I find out anything, I'm gonna beat yo, and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And
No.
the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. You have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA. You know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like we all don't do that.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis didn't hold back when asked about Jake Paul sparring with Shakur Stevenson before their showdown. Tank fired back, saying Jake can train with whoever he wants, but it won't change the outcome. Davis promised that when the lights shine on fight night, he'll unleash his real power and leave Paul broken in the ring. According to him, no sparring session or warm-up drill will save Jake from the beating that's coming his way.
No, don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm gonna show you and him. Bet.
And it
Nothing.
begs the question, Tank.
Nothing.
Boxing experts can't ignore the irony in the heated criticism surrounding the Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis fight. On one side, traditional fans and purists blast Tank's decision, calling it a move that cheapens the sport. Yet, on the other side, promoters and opportunists see massive hype, money, and exposure that only benefit them. Shakur Stevenson himself pointed out this dual reality. He admitted that while Tank's choice may frustrate die-hard boxing fans, he's still ready to spar with Jake Paul. For Stevenson, it's about staying relevant, fueling the conversation, and pushing the sport into a new spotlight.
Criticism for fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter. This is a sideshow, freak show fight. But yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight. And then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake Paul.
Analysts believe Gervonta "Tank" Davis is chasing the money more than anything else when it comes to his future fights. His decision to face Jake Paul has fueled this debate even further, as many argue Tank's eyes are locked on the payday, not the prestige or the legacy that comes with tougher challenges. Critics insist that if fans truly want to see Tank step in the ring with elite fighters like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach, then promoter Turk will have to put massive money on the table. They point to blockbuster deals like Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford as the new standard. At this point in Tank's career, financial reward seems to outweigh competitive glory.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
He's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach. What? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight those guys.
no, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money, man.
Shakur Stevenson, one of the most respected names in boxing today, didn't hold back his disappointment after Gervonta "Tank" Davis chose Jake Paul over him. For Stevenson, that decision screamed avoidance, a move he and many fans interpret as straight-up ducking. To him, it wasn't just a personal slight, it was a blow to the sport itself. Shakur made it clear that real fighters embrace real challenges. By chasing a crossover fight instead of locking in with an elite professional, Tank is sending the wrong message. His words have only intensified the fiery debate about Tank's true priorities: money over honor.
What do you think about the rumors of taking Jake Paul?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if you want to call cap and say, I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. So I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis fired back with anger when fans questioned him about supposedly ducking elite names like Shakur Stevenson. He dismissed the noise, making it clear that he doesn't lose sleep over public opinion. In his view, fans flip-flop quickly, cheering one day and turning their backs the next after a single setback. Tank stressed that his loyalty isn't to critics but to his own career path and personal ambitions. He refuses to let outside voices dictate his decisions. This fiery response showcased his fearless attitude, proving he intends to steer his boxing journey on his own terms.
Gervonta, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you're taking this fight rather than road rematch fights with the likes of Devin Haney, Tiafimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? Can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person's supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
In the end, the Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis matchup represents everything both loved and criticized about modern boxing. On one hand, the fight draws massive attention, headlines, and fan curiosity. It has the spectacle factor that crossover bouts thrive on, pitting a YouTube star-turned boxer with knockout power against one of the most skilled lightweights of this generation. The size difference, the trash talk, and the entertainment value make it a storyline the media cannot ignore. On the other hand, analysts, fighters, and purists see it as a step backward for the sport's credibility. For them, boxing should be about legacy, titles, and competition at the highest level, not about experimental showdowns that blur the lines between circus and championship. Michael J. White's remarks highlight this tension perfectly. No matter how much hype Paul generates, he has not yet earned the right to be called a legitimate champion. Daniel Cormier's dismissal of the fight as boring echoes a broader frustration among professionals who feel the event is designed for clicks and money, not sporting merit. Yet, despite the criticism, the fight will sell. Fans will tune in because, whether they admit it or not, the unpredictable nature of the spectacle makes it irresistible. Could Tank's speed and precision expose Paul? Could Paul's size and power shock the world? Those questions alone will fill arenas and streaming platforms, even if many agree the fight doesn't reflect the true standards of championship boxing. At the end of the day, this bout is less about legacy and more about entertainment. For Tank Davis, it's another chance to prove his dominance and shut down the doubters. For Jake Paul, it's an opportunity to legitimize his boxing journey and silence critics who say he only fights aging stars. Whatever side of the debate you fall on, one thing is certain: this fight has captured attention in a way few others can, and the entire world will be watching when the bell rings. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with other boxing fans. Your support keeps the fight conversation alive.